Okay, so today I'm doing a call out on this energy that seems to mask itself, right? And in spirituality, masking sometimes is a source of protection for the person that's trying to protect you from energy that's not good. But other people use masking as a way to do all kinds of wicked shenanigans without it reflecting back on them. And it works for some when they're dealing with people that don't have an understanding, and then others it just doesn't work with. Right, so let's see what planets come up and where this energy is masking, or this individual is masking themselves at. Let's see. So we have the moon energy. I'm going to throw down 3. We have earth energy, and we have this Virgo energy, a discussion of masking, right? So when we're talking about the energy of Virgo, you're talking about what? August 23rd to September 22nd kind of energy. That's masking. Now, the reason why this came up is because I had somebody once upon a time, not too long ago, and I found it to be interesting, tell me that they were supposed to be born on the day that I was born, but they was born on a completely different day. Now, I understand the universe a little bit different, and so I understand that she was born on the day that she was born, and that's that, right? For the most part. So let's look at this moon energy. So when we're talking about the moon, in this case, you talk about the first house, home environment. You talk about the earth, you talk about Capricorn, you talk about Taurus, and you talk about Virgo, right? So you talk about reputation, business, employers, elders, you talk about occupation. You're also talking about, when you talk about Taurus, money and finances and so on and so forth. But we're going to pay attention to this Virgo energy right here, right? And this Virgo energy is talking about service, occupations, employers, health, food, small animals, stuff like that. Even though it's saying, look at this, in 8, right? It's a little bit warish. So let's look and see what's going on right here when we talk about Lot. So let's see the moon. The moon is not always clear. Sometimes it's unconscious. Sometimes it's a discussion of choices, trying to see things clearly, right? And so in this moon, we're dealing with the home environment. This 8 of Wands, originally, it comes down in reverse. So, things have already taken place, right? This is a discussion of fairness, balance, and giving imbalance, right? And then you have this Knight of Cups energy. And when this Knight comes down, right, everybody, you're talking about, let me see, for the court cards, who's the Knight of Cups here? Pisces energy, right? And so outside of that Pisces energy, somebody wants everything to stop low key unless they get what they want, and they feel like they're asking for balance, and they feel like their energy is not going to be present, or they're going to walk away if they don't get what they want, right? And then you have this earth energy, which is a discussion of all of the earth elements, the Capricorn, the Taurus, and the Virgo energy. All right, so let's see what that's talking about real quick. We're calling it out because this is the energy that's masking, and they're masking in these aspects. So right, exactly. Excuse me, I may be holding these upside down. I feel like I am. Oh wait, I may not. All right, and so this is what the issue is here. The issue and discussion is no new beginnings, no new journeys, no desires and hopes and wishes coming into fruition. No being able to make choices and plan for the future in the physical reality is what this person is pushing towards, all right? So outside of that, let's look at this Virgo here. The Tower comes down here, and the Ace of Cups comes down here, right? And so let's get another one in this. So, this is somebody that emotionally can be very empty when it comes to the physical reality, especially when it comes to business and things of that nature. But outside of that, you have this Tower here. The Tower has already taken place, period. Getting over the confusion and the delusion and illusions and overindulgences and the lack of choices and options, that's still there. And this is in the physical reality, especially when it comes to doing business and things of that nature. This is where the person is masking themselves. They're throwing this particular energy out, and then they're throwing it out in a way where if it gets reversed back to them, they won't get hit with it, right? And it's because they want to be paid out. They want money, right? They want something for it. So let's just say in general, who is the masking energy right now? Who is the masculine or feminine principle masking themselves? Moving energy. Trying to cause all kinds of disruptions. And I had a card fall out, so I'm going to take that one. I had 2 cards fall out, so I'm going to take that one. So you got this card of death right here. And this 10 of wands right here. And so what we're talking about is a Scorpio energy right here that wants to bring upon endings in the physical reality. And a lot of it is reckless and negligence, to be honest. Now, like I say, you have this the overall energy. If you look at any of my previous readings in the Scorpio, the transition, taxes, inheritance, sex, regeneration, these things, right? It's supposed to come down as a particular reckless energy, right? Because there's movement without warning, without understanding warning. There's this issue of not being able to create and put out into the universe what you want and get back in the physical reality. The inability to plan for the future and things of that nature. So let's look and see what else is going on. So what's the end result for this energy doing that? Or for this individual that promotes that and pushes that? Because this is where the problem is. That I'm letting the reversals come down however they may, because I'm looking at a masking energy right here. But quite naturally, when I ask who's the masking energy, I get this Scorpio energy right here, right? And in doing this particular individual ends up being reckless, irresponsible, careless, and right, you have this Queen of Pentacles that comes up here. This is an earth, water energy. So this may be taking place with the earth, water energy. A reckless situation, endings, not being able to have new starts and manifest stability, health, wealth, and emotional balance. This is what's coming down here, right? And it's not cool, right? So let's see what the moon is going to reveal about this situation real fast. Because whatever it is definitely putting a person in a point where, they can. And if you pay attention, this Queen of Pentacles got her pentacle towards death anyway. And so, what is that about? Okay? Whether this is spiritual or physical. Right. So, in the moon energy is a discussion of success. But when you're looking at it as a person that is masking, things have already taken place. Things have already been given. This Knight of Cups has already tried to walk away into this earth energy where things is not, warnings and paying attention is not taking place. Manifesting is not really taking place the way they want to. Planning is not taking place the way they want to. Death comes into place. Endings come into place. Reckless behavior, irresponsible behavior comes into place. And then you have this Queen of Pentacles here. And then you have this discussion of success that comes here. But this would be more so like, a bragging right? Right? So let's look at Virgo, where the cups is emptied. The Tower has already taken place. And so there's times for rebuilding. But instead of rebuilding, all the cups is empty, making it very hard to rebuild. Who's ever putting this type of energy out in the physical realm, they're going to experience the same thing. And that's what they have to understand when they're masking through the water elements and the earth elements. Right. And this is what they're trying to create. This is what's being created. An inability to tap into faith, good fortune, wealth, good karma, things of that nature. You have this King of Wands here. This is a double fire energy, right? And so if we're talking about the King of Wands, you're talking about a Leo energy here that is, using the staff, okay? And this is what's coming about. This is what's coming about, and it's ridiculous if you ask me, and it's pathetic. To be honest, no disrespect, but it's pathetic for one to stand in this or feel that they stand in this particular position, and when they wave their wand, everything comes out in the reverse, including karmic cycles, including love, including drastic changes that they get over and still end up with empty cups, and that comes out in Virgo. It has nothing to do with anything but the person's actions. So I'm gonna throw one more card, and this is something that if they are dealing with a feminine principle, they're doing or they have done, and it causes a topsy-turvy even in this earth energy. Having the earth energy do things that they ain't supposed to be doing, right? So let me look at another one. Where's success at here? Right. Right. And so here in secret, in the subconscious mind, in the unknown, where it's unclear at, where things have already taken place, things have already been given to an individual. One has been given and walked away. Things that have already taken place. Success has already been there, but things have still been different for this Knight of Cups right here. They see things a little bit different here. And right there, even though success is possible with the change of thoughts and the change of emotions, there's still this energy of this Cancer energy here that comes in reverse. And when you do that, this is a discussion of not being able to find balance, not being able to travel, not being able to move forward, not being able to find stability in certain areas, in your dark aspects and in your light aspects, period. That's just how it works itself out. And so that's what has to be understood when masking energy like that. Don't mask to violate another individual. And that's something that people are not understanding here. Right. And so you have this Virgo energy that feels like, oh, there's no love. All has clashed and one has to get over it, and the cups are still empty for this individual. And there's a whole lot of bad karma coming in due to choices, actions, all of this fiery energy, ideas, concepts. And this is an energy that may blame the foundation or their foundation, right? Understand masking. Remember the beginning of the story that I told you. It's once upon a time I had somebody come and tell me that their birthday was supposed to be my birthday. And the rule is, if you were supposed to be physically born on my birthday, then that's when you was going to be born. And that's what has to be understood here. And that's why it doesn't work. And so if somebody thinks that, and I'm having a random conversation with somebody, then I'm sure there's somebody that will move through the ethers in the spiritual realm and try to swap out their whole existence with yours, thinking that your existence is better, right? So I'm just throwing another one over there so people can understand. Like, it gets real wicked in the spiritual realm when people use spirituality for wicketry. Right. 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 And so when you're looking at this moon energy, right, this energy of comfort and satisfaction and happiness and kind of being a little bit spoiled and things of that nature, you still find it in that water energy, right? But when you get into this earth energy, there's a lot of conflict, a lot of battle, a lot of fighting, and a lot of times it may not be worth it, but there's always a winner. This Virgo energy still is catching losses all over the place, and they have to understand why they're catching the losses all over the place. The losses coming in this Virgo, is an emotional issue. It's endings and towers that's already taken place that has already created empty cups. And this is a karmic cycle that takes place. And there is, a masculine energy and creativity in building and business and things like that. And, it can sometimes be a little bit foundational, but at the end of the day, when you're looking at this Nine of Coins right here, there's no benefit. So Virgo, somebody has masked in a Virgo, manifested some shenanigans in the Virgo. They're dealing with that. somebody in the earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, new beginnings and stuff like that. It's gonna be a whole lot of mixture of energy going on. Seriously, secrets, all kinds of stuff, hopes, wishes, and desires, plans that can't take place, a whole lot of conflict. This could also just be mental conflict that has to come to an end in order for it to work. A lot of trying to release being overwhelmed and overstressed and irresponsibilities when it comes to finances and the material aspects of reality. But when you get into this moon energy, this is what this individual has masked themselves into creating this type of chaos, right? So in this moon energy, everything is already said and done, and there's nothing you can do about it, and it's already been paid off, and the other one has got theirs, and they feel like they imbalanced, and they're walking off into this this whole shenanigans in this earth energy right here, while one said, what, the chips already landed down, they take what they want, they gonna make it work how they make it work and see things from a different perspective. And it may cause some stagnation in motion and movement and a little bit of imbalance, but at the end of the day, they still end up with the Nine of Cups. So people have to really pay attention to how they throw energy out when they're in the spiritual realm, especially when they're trying to mask and when they're trying to swap energy out, and when they're trying to do rituals and prayers and things of that nature to take from another. This is where it gets hectic. This is where it gets real, right? Now, the thing that's really interesting is that when you're dealing with this earth energy, you're coming down with about 3 different major arcanas that's not in the 2 major arcanas that's not in the right direction. But if we go all together, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcanas that's not in the right direction. You got the Fool, that's not in the right direction. You got the Star, that's not in the right direction. You got the Wheel of Fortune. Matter of fact, that's more than that, right? And then you also have the Chariot, not in the right direction. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 major arcanas that's not in the right direction here. So this is something that's moving through the ethers to turn things upside down, and that's where the masking comes in. The individual that's doing it is doing the work. It's not a positive thing, and while they're doing the work, they're trying to turn these things upside down in these areas. And they still have to respect the fact that all of these cards have to turn this way at some point. That's how the universe works. All the cards have to turn back up. All of the cards will have to still come into reverse. Balance will still have to come about even on this particular journey. New opportunities, hopes, wishes, dreams, and desires. Understanding that things come to an end and then restarts and refreshments come in. And then you also understand that you take upon this drastic change, these things change, and you still end up with this Wheel of Fortune. So why do it? Is the question. And y'all can't even see it, so I'm gonna move it over. I thought y'all could see it. So why do it? So why do it? There go Virgo right there. Why do it? When all these cards still have to come back up. I flipped all of it. It was all originally in reverse, right? All of these was in reverse. But when you understand how the universe works, then you understand that all of these, they have to come back into place. The universe has to have balance at all times. So even if there's a temporary imbalance, all of these major arcanas are going to come back into their regular state, regardless of fact, and balance will take place. New journeys and opportunities will take place with consciousness and understanding that they're not going to fall off the cliff, right? And hopes, wishes, dreams, and desires will still be there. Even though the Fool is walking away from hopes, wishes, dreams, and desires, that's not even going to take place. His flower is still with his hopes, wishes, dreams, and desires. That's where the journey, or her, that's where the journey is at the end of the day. The Tower is going to take effect, and yes, one is going to get over the Tower at the end of the day. And the Wheel of Fortune and good karma and stability and being spiritually tapped in properly and understanding your faith and what you believe in, those things will still come into place. So that's what has to be understood. So in these energies, if there's one in these energies that's manipulating in a negative way, then understand how these cards end up in reverse, and understand that when you reverse when you do these things in a negative manner, that when the cards flip up, they'll be against you. So make sure that you're doing things in a positive manner with real intentions and real heart chakra energy and real understanding of how the universe works. Deuces and smooches.